Hello, and welcome back to It's Our Time podcast with your host, Dalal. I am so excited again to be here because I love this space. I love this space where I get to share my experiences, where I get to share my perspectives and my insight and just honor and learn about who I am. Because for a long time, for a very, very long time, I didn't quite know who I was. And in this moment, I have more clarity than I have ever had. And I'm learning for the first time in my life to trust life. Learning to trust life despite what the external circumstances look like, learning to trust that I'm being taken care of, that the world outside of me has its own harmony, its own system that moves, and that I am part of that intricate, beautiful wave of energy. And I recognize that in the ease that I allow myself to be in within myself, within my being, finding that space to really exhale and to be myself has granted me the ability to allow everything outside to really unfold and for me to be present in the experience without needing to fight against it, without needing to expend my energy in war against anybody, against the world outside, against people, against ideas and concepts. I recognized how much energy was being expended outwardly, and I found myself devastated. I found myself exhausted. I found myself literally panting because I was so done with the runaround. I had no idea, no stillness in me, fighting this world, running from it, trying to make sense of it, trying to fit myself into it. None of it made sense to me. It's only in this moment, this very moment that I'm sitting here in this motel room, in this point in my life, that I recognize that I all I've ever wanted was the simplicity of the truth of who I am and the simplicity of the truth of what I've always known in my heart that this universe is, that it has space and room for us to be exactly who we are, and that there was something very, very intelligent about the silence that I was holding when I was younger, a silence that kept me aware. I used to watch people around me, but I wouldn't really get too involved. I heard conversations around me, but I wouldn't involve myself in too many of them. I just would see the world around me as it is, and I would be moving in my own world, my hands doing what they needed to be doing in my world, whether it was doodling or writing, allowing my imagination to wander when it came to and was in that imaginative space. I remember when certain conversations were brought to my attention, I used to feel like, was it really necessary for me to partake in that? Not every conversation is meant for me to partake in because that is my time, that is my attention, that is my energy that I'm divulging to to those things. And often I found a lot of it didn't necessarily need my involvement, didn't need my voice. It didn't need me to meddle in it. It will unfold and move and shift on its own, and it will roll over to wherever it was going to go without my interception, without my interjection. And I say this because I feel myself coming back to that understanding that a lot of what is surrounding me does not need my intervention, including the things that are intimately, outside of my own control in life. And I want to be clear that that observation actually allows me to be much more useful to everything that surrounds me, much more useful to even my own life, because I would know the right moment to intercede, the right moment to say something, the right moment to do something, because I'm aware of the harmony of it by watching it and attuning my energy in the observation. It's like when something just kind of clicks, if I'm just throwing it all the time, maybe by chance once or twice it might click. But if I'm watching it and I'm allowing it to pivot naturally and magnetize into that space, into that alignment, then it's it expends, in my experience, a lot less energy and a lot less resources. It's much more present. And that's that's where I'm at right now, in allowing life to move as I observe it, and to know when it is time for me to act. And then I've also found that I get much more clear direction when I'm in that silence, when I'm in that stillness. It's not just this space of like zenness and no action and no, you know, um, no action or anything like that, but it is slowed down and guided, much more peaceful and much more honest. This is literally me for the first time in a long time, uncongested by pain, uncongested by trauma, by expectations, and just sitting in this beautiful stillness with my higher power, knowing that each day there's space for you to be all of you. And the more that I connect to that, the more I connect to that truth of who I am, the more the changes that my heart desires to see in the world actually begin to manifest in the world. So there is something to that. Start with the man in the mirror. There's something to that, because everything that arises for us to respond to engage with. It comes into my experience. People, places, and things arise into my experience, and I have then the capacity to engage with it from a confused, less confused, erratic state of noise past of projections. I think that's it for me in this moment. I am really grateful. I'm grateful that I am exactly where I am right now. I'm grateful that I feel with clarity the presence of my higher power, the presence of my ancestors, and the presence of my true being. In this moment, I feel so full, and my body's eager to rest. So is my mind, and so is my soul. Um, I hope you have found something for you in this, in what I've shared, and I really look forward to my next podcast episode because this is fun. It's our time podcast. It's so much fun. I love I love developing this, and I love experiencing myself creating this and giving myself permission for it to be that experience. And I love keeping a promise to myself. And I thank you for tuning in, and I thank you for being here. And I hope you have a wonderful rest and to give yourself space to just be exactly where you are as you are, and know that you are not any of these external experiences. You are far beyond that. And I hope that that gives you a moment to really exhale into some peace. You're here. You are you are remarkable. You are loved. You are worthy without any narrative, without any story needed to be added to you. You yourself are so magnificently divine. I couldn't even begin to put it into words. Or something incredible, I'll tell you that. I hope you take care, and I love you. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next episode of It's Our Time podcast. Bye.